Hey everyone, it's Matt. We have some new information just released from the Senate parliamentarian regarding the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Let's get right into this. So for the last few days now, we've been waiting for the Senate parliamentarian to release the ruling on the $15 per hour minimum wage provision within the stimulus package. Well, the ruling was just released a short time ago, and the ruling says the $15 per hour minimum wage provision cannot be included. Now, this is just in reference to the Senate. However, remember, the package, the stimulus bill, must be passed through the House and the Senate in order for it to arrive on the president's desk for a signature in order for it to turn into law. Well, this changes the game a little bit, simply because the House of Representatives is scheduled to be voting on the stimulus bill tomorrow. Well, the bill that they're going to be voting on contains the $15 per hour minimum wage. Okay, so they vote on it tomorrow and they pass it through as such, and then they send it over to the Senate, and the Senate says, well, the Senate parliamentarian said we can't have it, right? The referee says we can't have the $15 per hour minimum wage provision. So that could potentially slow the process. The reason for that is, if the House passes it in its current state with the $15 per hour minimum wage, and then they send it over to the Senate will say, hey, we can't have this here. We need to send it back with our new amendments, which actually could possibly happen. If the Senate passes it through without the $15 per hour minimum wage, then guess what happens? It needs to go back to the House. It needs to be passed once again, which who knows what happens? They may kick and scream and say, no. We need to pass this thing through with the $15 per hour minimum wage. So we don't know how this is going to affect the voting that's scheduled for either tomorrow or Saturday. Now, it's supposed to be happening tomorrow, the voting, but for some reason, if it's delayed, it would happen on Saturday. So this information is hot off the press. This ruling literally just came out. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. Now, I'm really hoping that they just say, okay, the parliamentarian said it's a no-go on the $15 per hour minimum wage. Let's just try to pass that through as its own separate standalone bill. We'll come back to that at some point. Hopefully they do that. Now, I'm not saying that the $15 per hour minimum wage isn't important. That's not what I'm saying at all. Simply what I'm saying is, for the sake of passing the $1.9 trillion package as quickly as possible to expedite this thing through the House and the Senate and get it to the president for a signature as quickly as possible so that everybody can get the $1,400 stimulus checks in your accounts as quickly as possible without delay, the best thing for them to do would probably be just say, okay, let's just pull out the $15 per hour. Let's just pull it out and let's just focus on that later. And let's just pass the package through. So tomorrow could potentially be interesting as far as how the House approaches this. Maybe they go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what do we do now? Let's talk about it for a week because we're really slow with everything we do. Or maybe they just act and say, okay, here's what we're going to have to do. In order to get it through the Senate, let's just do this. Let's go ahead with the vote. Let's pull it out. Let's go ahead with the vote. Let's pass it through. Let's send it over to the Senate so the Senate can pass it and then get it onto the president for a signature. So anyway, we'll have to see what happens. Wow, this was literally just announced a few minutes ago. I mean, it's not like the most important thing in the world, but at the end of the day, it is still important because it could potentially slow down the process of passing this package. Now, again, I just want to make it very clear. I'm not saying that this $15 per hour minimum wage isn't important. It's going to affect a lot of people, and it would help out a lot of people at the same time. But basically what I'm saying is it's just going to affect the stimulus package at the end of the day. So we'll have to see what happens, but I wanted to bring that to you because we've been waiting for this ruling out of the Senate parliamentarian for multiple days now, and it just hit the wire. So, wow. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the update. Have a great night, everybody. It's kind of a late one, but here you go. I want to be here for you and bring you the latest information as we get it. I'm your guy. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. Cuddles and kisses. I don't think I'm allowed to say that, but I just did it, and I'm not going to edit it out of here. So anyway, it's getting late. I'm getting a little crazy. So I got to go to bed here pretty soon. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. I'll catch you again in the morning with the latest updates, and hopefully we get some action out of the House tomorrow. So have a good night. I'll catch you tomorrow.